Hi, I'm Irvin Welsh, and my new book is called Skagboys, which is a prequel to Trainspotting, a book that I wrote in the early 90s and was published across the world, and features the same characters. It charts the journey of kind of Renton, Begbie and Spud, and from being these kind of boys about town who are doing their own stuff. You know, they're very big, particularly Renton and his pals are really big into Northern Soul, and they're big into music and, you know, punk and all that, and that's their kind of driving force, you know. And then they get from there they get into kind of drugs, kind of speed and stuff like that, and then it's like they get enthralled by particularly Renton and Skagboys, they get enthralled by the heroin scene, and the community starts falling apart, and their families start falling apart, and their own lives start falling apart. So it kind of knocks on from there. And the kind of communities that the characters in the book come from, heroin basically replaced work. You know, it's like one minute you had lots of jobs, kind of sort of skilled kind of manual trades, and then an unskilled manual kind of work, and then you had none. And the only drug you had was kind of was alcohol, basically nothing else. Then suddenly you had everything else. You had a massive flood of imported Pakistani and Afghanistan heroin, and heroin basically became not just the way that people kind of diverted their attention from the kind of, you know, the boredom and the misery of having nothing to do, but it also became the economy. You know, it became the heroin, and then cocaine, ecstasy. That became the black economy in these areas. That became the underground economy, the way that people made money. This one, Skagboys, was the original first 100,000 words that I had from Trainspotting when I started to write and find my way into it. And I just never knew what to do with it. Basically, I finished the book by kind of cutting into the middle and tacking on this heist ending. But I had always had this chunk at the front, and when I look back on it, I got right back into the characters, and I decided that, you know, Trainspotting was kind of more of a sort of what happened type novel when they got onto drugs. This had to be more about why, how did they do it, you know, what were the things that kind of in their lives that led them to that kind of down that path.